camera, I'm going to set it up to my key machine over here. This key machine is something I purchased in the early 70s, and I've been using it ever since. It's a great tool. It's specifically for doing keytops. Now, a couple of things I want to go over. The first thing I want to do is, if I can do this in front of the camera, you can see I have my measuring device, my calipers, and then I have part of the ivory key that I've taken off. Now, this ivory is goes to the back part of the key. All right, so when I measure this, and it is very thin, so when I measure this, and although you won't be able to see that there, this measures out to be 1 millimeter. Okay, so this is 1 millimeter, the thickness of this key top, the original. Now, when I go to my new German ivories, new German key top, plastic key top, which are very nice, I go ahead and I measure the thickness of that, and you could automatically see that it's a lot thicker. That right there measures out to be a little bit over 2 millimeters. So already I'm a millimeter plus thicker with the new key top. The reason why this is a problem is because when the key sits in the piano, the height of the key is going to be very important, because if my key is higher, when I go ahead and I regulate the piano, my sharp key now has to also be higher. So all my keys, even though whatever the thickness is, I have to raise the height of the key, of the sharp key, in order to be a certain distance, half an inch above the white key. So all my heights are going to be changing now because I've thrown a key top on without reducing the thickness of the key itself. And I've seen this happen many, many times. People can't close their fall board. You go ahead on a grand piano and you have that fall board that comes down and it closes on top of the lid. And then when you open up that lid, the back part rubs against the back of the key, and all these keys start going down. I know a lot of people out there have seen that happen, and might even have had that happen on their piano. So the reason why is because it's too thick back here. So what this key machine does, this machine that I have here, this will take down and plane down the thickness of the key. You can see that this has been planed down, and you can see how much in the back over here that this has come down as well. So look at how much has come off. The reason why I plane it down is I want to go ahead and match the thickness of the key when it had the ivory on. So I already measured it with the ivory on, and it was 1 inch. And then the back over here, it's just a tiny bit less than 1 inch, because the key should taper down a little bit in the back to accommodate the fall board when it comes down and rubs against this part of the key over here. So that's what this key machine will do. It will match the angle. So let me just go ahead and show you and do a key. All right, so here we have a key that I've just taken off. You could see that it goes perfectly flat across. Okay, and now I'm going to reduce it. So So now what I've done is I've reduced this key down to the proper thickness, so that when I put my key top on, I'm going to match the original heights as it was before. That's a very important part of doing keys. This here will determine how my action regulates, where my keys sit in the piano, and how well that fall board will function. I've seen guys that had to take the fall board and plane it down because their keys were too high. So you know what? There's a lot to doing the keys. Just want to keep in mind, you ask your piano technician if you're going to get a set of keys done, whether or not he's going to plane the key down to the original height. I think it's an important question, and you know, especially when you're being charged close to $400 to $500 for a new set of Keytops. So you know, it's not a cheap thing to do. It is time consuming, but you should also have the right tools in order to do the job. So I'm going to do a few more keys, and I'll just show you how things look and how it goes.